The time has finally come, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. The final Star Wars movie commentary for the prequels. Specifically, Revenge of the Sith, as if you didn't already know that. Sandy, as you can plainly see, has risen from her blanket. I guess she's not quite as cold as she was while watching the Attack of the Clones. By the way, just full transparency, I did just finish watching Attack of the Clones about half an hour ago, or actually closer to an hour, but, well, like I said, I stretched my legs, I put something nice and warm on because the sun has set, and it's getting pretty cold out here. I can see why Sandy likes to be on her little blanket, but I promised I'd do Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith today, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And only if I can find the time, I will do a commentary for A New Hope. I know that it's kind of a stretch, mostly because of the time, and I've got work tomorrow in the morning, so I'm kind of stretching myself thin. But I want to do as many of these commentaries as I possibly can, especially because, like I said in the previous commentary, I kind of blew it. I should have done these weeks ago, and I'm only doing them now, 2 days before the release of The Rise of Skywalker. I apologize for that, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And once again, I apologize, but it happened the way that it did. So, Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith, to this day, is still my all-time favorite Star Wars movie. I understand that it's probably not a lot of people's favorite movie. Like a lot of the prequels, a lot of people just completely hate the prequels, and it's their right to hate the prequels. Just don't, trash talk on people who do like the prequels, because there are people who do like the prequels, and we don't like to be treated badly for liking these prequels, especially Revenge of the Sith, which a lot of people, even the people who hate the prequels, say that Revenge of the Sith is easily, by far, the best Star Wars, is the best of the Star Wars prequels. I'm boring you guys with details right now, aren't I? Let's just do the thing. Hold on. Oh, it's not too loud. I think that's the last Star Wars movie that had this logo on it. I'm not sure if the animated Clone Wars movie had the Fox logo. I only watched that movie once, years ago, so I guess I should watch it again. So, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This is, by the way, the best that this font has ever looked up to this point. Star Wars! I think this is my favorite first word of the opening crawl, as you'll see in just a minute. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. War! The Republic is crumbling under attacks by the ruthless Sith Lord Count Dooku. There are heroes on both sides. Evil is everywhere. In a stunning move, the fiendish droid leader General Grievous has swept into the Republic capital and kidnapped Chancellor Palpatine, leader of the Galactic Senate. As the Separatist droid army attempts to flee the besieged capital with their valuable hostage, 2 Jedi Knights lead the desperate mission to rescue the captured Chancellor. That's actually a very good opening crawl. I gotta be honest with you guys. Reading it out loud for the first time in years, it's really good, even with the whole war at the beginning. So, like I said about the last crawl, it's a very good setup to what you're about to see, and kind of introduces these characters like General Grievous that you are kind of hearing about for the first time. And it says 2 Jedi Knights. I guess you're supposed to guess which Jedi they are, but if you've watched the 2D animated Clone Wars series, it ends exactly at this point, and you kind of get to see a little more of Grievous and where he came from. Well, not where he came from, but you kind of get to see how he kidnapped the Chancellor, which was really good. But like I said, it's in the previous commentary, it's not canon, so it's unfortunate because it's a really great series, but that series is not canon by any stretch of the imagination. Only the 3D animated Clone Wars is canon, which, strangely enough, it doesn't set up this thing. And the final season is yet to come out. It's supposed to come out. I just paused it because I'm getting a lot of problems with the internet again. The final season is supposed to come out next year, I believe, on Disney Plus. But I highly doubt that we're going to see this. Anyway. Oh, by the way, guess what? These are the two Jedi Knights we were talking about. Vulture droids. There are the clones again. In the Arc 170s. That's the name of the ship. It's not an X-Wing. I've seen a lot of people mistakenly call these X-Wings. They're not X-Wings. They're called Arc 170. Or Arc Fighters. Depends who you ask. I guess both is true again. Choo 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 choo. Once again, the effects in this movie are such a cute. Oh, look at that! You can see a body in space. The effects in this movie are so much better than the previous movie, and again, as much as many people love to trash on the prequels, the effects are amazing. You can't deny them. And if you deny the effects, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. Choo! So that's 4 missiles, and you're clearly going to see every single one of those missiles because they're homing missiles, and they're going back at Anakin and Obi-Wan. And there's R4 again. I think that's a new paint job. No. It's exactly the same paint job in as in the previous movie. Now, if you watch the 2D animated Tartakovsky Clone Wars series, R4 kind of gets blown up, and he's perfectly okay in this one. But yeah, like I said, not canon, and I don't think R4 P-17 blows up in the 3D animated. Oh, look at that, buzz droids. They're kind of annoying. Why isn't R4 doing anything? Look! Oh my. Oh dear. And that's officially the end of R4. We're not gonna see her again. Is he seriously planning on shooting the bus droids while they're on Obi-Wan's ship? Whoops, there goes the left wing. You think? Oops. The cooling mechanism. Now this was a pretty awesome idea by Anakin. Crush the buzz droid with his wing. Get us both killed. Just flying for Anakin seems so easy. I mean, look what he's able to do. Who else is gonna have the guts to do that? Zap. Why didn't R4 did that? Zap. Zap, zap. Wait, wheel. You know, In the Clone Wars animated TV show, there's an episodic arc where they did some upgrades to, there's that scream again. They had some significant upgrades to R2's electric thingy there. I wonder if they're still present in this movie. Definitely not the original trilogy because you would have used them more, but it's a nice little trivia fact, you know. Sloop! Choo 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 choo. Lots of security droids. Ugh. R2, locate the Chancellor! Okie dokie. What happened to it? It just fell down for no reason.
Chancellor's signal is coming from right there. Observation platform on top of that spire.
So isn't that, you know,
I sense a trap.
set up an alarm for you guys?
Arthur, go back. I need you to stay with the ship. Yeah, take this. Wait for orders.
Okie dokie. There he is, General Grievous. I'm gonna eat a cookie. I missed this in the previous situation, Captain. Just as Count Dooku predicted. I love Grievous. Also, it's very much said in the Clone Wars series that Grievous really hates those battle droids. I mean, he just smashes one of them with his bare hands, and another one just shows up to replace it. You had your weapons on them and you didn't shoot. That's on you, droids. You don't really hear these guys, the super battle droids, talk a lot.
Press the stop button. No, did you? No. Well, there's more than one way out. You don't want to get out. You want to get moving. R2, activate elevator 3111.
Not now, sir.
R2, do you copy?
Get back to work. That nothing.
Get back to work. That nothing.
This whole scene is kind of pointless because they're gonna escape by landing this craft anyway. So this whole sabotaging their fighters does nothing. Always on the move. Shh.
Stop. R2, we need to be going up.
These guys are literally everywhere.
R2, do you hear me? R2, we need to be going up, not down.
Reverse! Hey, you. Hurry it up, R2.
Now, that's better.
These guys probably think that he's on their side. Because there are astro droids on both sides, you know. Or at least they think. I know that it's with the Empire. No. R2 basically peed on them.
Well, R2 has been... No, that's why jokes. Did I say anything? He's trying. I didn't say anything.
Shoom! So R2 basically took out these two guys all by himself. But clearly he's having problems later, so there are a lot of inconsistencies with R2 in this movie. Or at least in this whole sequence. This doesn't look at all like it was planned. Chancellor.
Chancellor, you alright?
In the Revenge of the Sith video game, it's like 3.5 levels until you actually get to this point. Well, technically 3 levels, and then the 4th one you have Dooku as a boss battle. what I'm trying to say is it's a very long time. And after that, it's like 2 more levels. Trying to get out of this ship. So it's like 6 levels just on this ship.
Your sword, please. We don't want to make a mess of things in front of the chancellor.
You won't get away this time, Dooku.
Having a few moments of this.
My powers have doubled since the last time we met count.
Good. Twice the pride.
I suppose you're supposed. I think you're supposed to believe that the last time these two fought was in Attack of the Clones. Not true. They fought several times in the Clone Wars animated series, but I do know that it's been a while since the last time they dueled. So that statement is not misplaced. Get out of here! Throw you! And smash you! That thing did nothing at all. Why did he only bring 2 of those droids with him? Then again, he didn't even need them anyway. Fear. Skywalker.
You have hate. You have anger. But you don't use them.
Oh yeah? I'll show you! I love that it's a great duel between a light side Jedi and a Sith Lord, and Palpatine is just sitting there on his sort of pseudo throne, watching the battle ensue. Good, Anakin, good.
Kill him.
Kill him. I mean, the iconography is pretty obvious. Why are you surprised? You failed! What did you expect is what he was gonna do? He's a Sith.
I shouldn't.
His student failed him, so he's gonna pick another.
Do it.
Do it. Roll it again. And another guy gets decapitated.
You did well.
You did well, Anakin.
He was too dangerous.
I love Ian McDermott's voice. I love it.
I shouldn't have done that. Stop the Jedi.
And he was one of the better parts of the original trilogy.
What can you finish? It wasn't the first.
There's so much of him in this movie, which is probably why it's the best prequel movie.
Now we must leave before more security droids arrive.
Leave him, or we'd never make it.
Anakin, there's no time. We must get off this ship before it's too late.
I sense defiance in you, boy.
Leave him or we'll never make it.
Hmm.
Spec will be the same as ours.
Oh, Barry, fire! Fire! Oh. Almost cannon effect. There's the Wilhelm scream. I don't remember there was the Wilhelm scream in Attack of the Clone. That's kind of weird.
Activate elevator 3224.
Okie dokie. You know, if R2 could actually speak, it would probably be one of the worst things ever. It would probably ruin the character a lot. Like I'm clearly doing right now. Oh no! See? It'll be terrible if R2 could speak. R2 is so much more effective when he can't speak. Whee! Dropping. Woo! Under normal circumstances, I could do the R2 scream properly, but yeah, my throat's not really feeling too good. The emergency booster engines. I could probably do Grievous's voice very good, but you know, sitting on this couch and talking to you guys while watching a movie for 2 hours kind of takes a lot out of you. So, yeah. My throat's not what it normally is. I apologize. Whoa. Did I miss something? I just killed the Dooku. Now who's always on the move? Woo! And that door just happened to be open? Or is that where they came from? That's the camera thing from The Empire Strikes Back.
General, we found the Jedi. They're really going to it.
Activate ray shields! I wonder what happened to Grievous, why he's always coughing. I don't think it was like that in the animated Clone Wars, the canon one at least, because in the non-canon one, Mace Windu crushed his lungs, or at least the equivalent of one.
Wow! Oi!
Yes, I'm continuing to ruin the character of poor little R2.
Don't move. Ouch! Why you?
Sandy Sand! The negotiator! General Kenobi! Excuse me. Order!
General Grievous, you're shorter than I expected.
This is the first time they've actually met, because there have been in all 6 and soon to be 7 seasons of the Clone Wars series, they've never actually met. Grievous fought Kenobi on a lot of occasions. He fought Mace Windu. He fought Ahsoka. He never actually met Anakin face to face, and this thing was amazing. R2's just unleashing everything he can do at the same time. He actually does that in another episode of the Clone Wars, where it's basically R2 versus Grievous's R2 unit. I think it was R3D7 or something. I don't know, it was something like that. It was basically an evil R2. R2 kind of gave it as good as he got, but the other R2 unit kicked his butt a little bit.
No, oi!
These things can still fight without that haze. It's scary.
No!
These droids they've got the blue thing on their shoulders, so they're pilots. They're not exactly trained to fight. You lose, General Kenobi! Now, exactly what was he thinking in this scenario? I mean, obviously he can survive outside, but it's clear that he has a human heart. And does he have a lung? I mean, does he have lungs? Because he's clearly coughing from some reason. So can he actually breathe in space? I don't know. In one of the comic books, the Age of Republic comic book, specifically the General Grievous one, you get to have a bit of a flashback, and you see kind of see General Grievous's human form, which is kind of interesting. That's why I hate it when people say that General Grievous is a droid. He's not. He's a cyborg. He used to be human once. Corellian, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, under the circumstances, I'd say the ability to pilot this thing is irrelevant. Strap your soldier. Open all hatches, extend all flaps and drag fins.
Yeah, no one clearly understands what you're saying. Even though he hates flying. Flying is for droids! Careful on the re-entry. Separate the saucer station.
We lost something.
Not to worry, we're still flying half a ship. Obi-Wan's still getting all the best lines in the prequel trilogy. You know, I wish someone... Oops, I dropped the cookies. I wish someone could just do a re-edit of this scene on YouTube and just have, Oh, damn it, I forgot the name of the actor, but... I can't remember the name of the actor, but... You know from Airplane, where he keeps popping inside and goes, I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you. Those are clearly, clone, maintenance ships. Sort of like, firefighters. But here's the question. How do they know that they're actually the good guys piloting this ship? Because it's clearly a separatist ship. But whatever. Maybe they sent down the signal or something. Arthur drops like 11 of these in the first 10-15 minutes of the movie, and he doesn't do those again, so... Oh, at least we got those. Wait a minute, what am I doing? Hold on.
Another happy landing.
Another happy landing. Still the star map from the previous movie. Hold on. Airplane. Exclamation point. Mark. Whatever. Let's just.
Are you coming, Master?
I'm just going to do good luck.
Politics. I have to report to the council. Besides, someone needs to visit the poster boy.
Hold on. This whole operation was your idea.
Let us not forget, Anakin, that you rescued me from the body.
Leslie Nielsen.
And you killed Count.
That's the name of the guy.
Chancellor Harry.
Can't believe I blanked out on his name. Leslie. I remembered Leslie something, but I couldn't remember the last name.
Let's be fair. Today you were here, and you deserve your
Glorious day with the politicians.
Alright. You owe me one. Enough for saving your skin for the 10th time.
9th time.
That business on Kate and Amodia doesn't count.
Clearly he's upset about this, but I wonder what happened on Kate and Amodia, because there was an episode on Kate and Amodia in the Clone Wars series, but I don't remember anything particular happening in that episode that could, you know, point to this bit of banter between these two guys. Let me just pick up the cookies from the floor. There's Om Frita, the Rylothian senator, but I couldn't remember his name for the first few episodes. Oh, look, there's 3PO with his new gold plating. The 2D animated series explains why he's got that plating, but the 3D one didn't. It was just one of those casualties of is it canon or is it not? But whatever. Bottom line, 3PO has gold plating. Deal with it. I love the Leia buns on Natalie Portman there. Now, if you still remember from the first prequel movie where they kept switching between Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley, Natalie Portman kind of treated Keira Knightley horribly behind the scenes, and well, she kind of upset a lot of people. So that's why George Lucas decided to minimize her role as much as possible and only make her, like, you know, only keep her in the movies to be the mother of Luke and Leia, which is kind of unfortunate, but I guess she kind of deserved it. I like a lot of Natalie Portman's movies, but she's doing a lot of questionable things outside of movies that, you know, I just can't support her, even though she is an Israeli actress, and she's kind of going against Israelis these days now, but like I said, I like to separate the art from the artist. So I don't like Natalie Portman as a person, but I still enjoy her movies. It's a little bit of a separation there. That's an emoji and shit. I'm really sorry if me eating a cookie kind of bothers you guys. I don't know if it would. I'm trying to stay as far away from the mic as possible, so... yeah. Just I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. So, Grievous escaped using an escape pod, landed somewhere, and found this Nemoidian ship. You flew there. Oh, there's the Corans again. I love the score at this moment. This moment is so reminiscent of The Empire Strikes Back. With Vader and the Emperor. Mustafa. My lord. You know, even if people didn't guess that this guy is actually Ian McDiarmid, I don't think you can keep a secret like that these days. Definitely not in movies. With all the behind us, so many leaks from productions midway through. Yeah, nothing's a secret anymore. So is this kind of Padme's apartment complex? Because it shows up a lot in the Clone Wars and in Forces of Destiny. Whoa, what was that? Destiny! Forces of Destiny, damn it.
We can go to the lake country where no one will know, where we can be safe. Like we were oiling, baked. And on the perfect spot, right by the garden.
It was so beautiful.
It's only because I was so in love.
Andy, what do you think about this dialogue? You like this cheesy dialogue?
So love is blind.
Well, that's not exactly what I meant.
That's probably true.
Pretty sure a lot of people would fast forward through these moments, but I won't, because I'm a professional. I'm watching the entire movie, the good stuff and the bad stuff. That was a bit quick and sudden. Sandy Sand. Sandy. There's that robotic arm, which does look a lot different than it was at the end of Attack of the Clones. In the 2D animated version, they kind of go into why he had to replace that arm. But like I said, not canon anymore. It's kind of a weird time for Star Wars, where the only canon was the movies, and the 2D animated version tried to follow the movies canon, so they kind of explained a lot of things that weren't explained in the movies. But by the time the 3D animated version came out, all these things were kind of pseudo-canon because of the 2D one, so they didn't explain them. And then, when Disney kind of bought Lucasfilm, they decided that the 2D animated version wasn't canon, but the 3D animated version is canon. So all of the explanation they did for a lot of the things in the 2D version kind of were gone. They explained how Anakin got his scar. They explained his new arm, but the 3D one, the canon one, didn't. So, like I said, it's kind of a weird time for Star Wars canon. But on the right side, everything that happened since then has been mostly at least 90-95% consistent as far as canon goes.
The baby.
I don't know.
Sandy, Sandy, Sandy.
Who's on the intro?
I won't let this one become real.
Baby will change our lives.
Mm-hmm.
The other two will continue to allow me to serve in the Senate. And if the council discovers you're the father, he'll be expelled. Obi-Wan might be able to help us.
We don't need his help.
Exactly how did she think she was going to keep this whole thing a secret? Because she's a public figure. People are going to notice she's pregnant. And people are going to notice that she's going to have a baby eventually. So how exactly was she planning to basically lie to the Senate? People are going to start wondering who the father is.
Pain, suffering.
All the paths lead to the dark side.
Yourself.
I love this subtle score that you can faintly hear in the background. It was used a lot in The Force Unleashed.
Yes.
I love this quiet score there.
Spirit loss is a path to the dark side.
Listen to them, Anakin.
I won't let these visions come true, Master Yoda.
Death is a natural part of life.
Mm-hmm.
Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them do not.
Miss them, do not. Again, it is harping on the fact that Jedi are allowed to love, but they can't form attachments.
What must I do, Master?
Part of the whole gray area of the Jedi code.
Of everything you fear to lose.
There's a Jedi temple. Nice storm up there.
You missed the report on the outer ring procedures.
Sorry, I was held up. I have no excuse.
In short, they are going very well. Silicamai has fallen,
Hmm.
and Master Voss has moved his troops to Bospity.
I wonder what happened to Quinlan Voss, because it's very much stated, well, in the canon novel, Dark Disciple, he kind of went to the dark side for a bit, then he went back, and that was the death of Asajj Ventress, for those of you who are familiar with the character. According to a lot of sources, they're saying that he actually survived Order 66 and he's still alive somewhere. I don't know where exactly in canon they say that, but
All of this is unusual,
people I trust
and it's making
are
me
saying
feel
it is so. There's the Senate building. What was that smaller building in the middle there? Oh, I believe that's Palpatine's office. I think.
I hope you trust me, Anakin.
Completely.
Of course. I need your help, son. What do you mean?
I'm depending on you
For what? I don't understand.
to be the eyes, ears, and voice of the Republic. Anakin, I'm appointing you to be my personal representative on the Jedi Council.
Me. The Master. I'm overwhelmed, sir.
It's all part of Palpatine's plan to kind of get into his head, and like I said previously, it didn't just came from nowhere. He's been planning this for a very long time, since even before Attack of the Clones. Actually, I would actually say that ever since the Battle of Naboo, he's been planning this.
Allow this appointment, my friend.
Oh no, Plo Koon is. I wonder who was supposed to be in that missing chair. Adi Gallia was killed during the Clone Wars, but her place on the council was replaced by her cousin, I think, Stas Ali. You want to know how to make Anakin angrier?
This is
Do it.
outrageous. It's unfair.
So, was Obi-Wan a member of the council
And not be a master.
in Attack of the Clones, or was he a member of the council in this movie? I don't know.
Forgive me, master.
So they actually made him a member of the council without giving him the rank of master. That's unheard of, as far as I know.
Hiding in the outer rim, Grievous is. The outlying systems you must sweep.
We do not have many ships to spare.
What about the joint attack on the Wookiees?
It is critical we send an attack group there immediately. He's right. It's a system we cannot afford to lose.
The Wookiees are good people.
Go, I will. Good relations with the Wookiees I have.
I like to see Pat. That's a story I like to see explored in detail. In a comic book or in a novel or whatever. I don't think it should be a movie, but whatever.
What kind of nonsense is this? Put me on the council and not make me a master? It's never been done in the history of the Jedi. It's insulting.
You are on the council!
Given a great honor. To be
Just-
in the council at your age, it's never happened before.
Yeah! Be thankful for that!
The matter is you are too close to the Chancellor. The council doesn't like it when he interferes in Jedi affairs.
I swear to you.
I still can't believe that the council didn't figure it out that he was actually the Sith Lord running the show the entire time. I mean, Dooku practically told them, look, guys, the Senate is being run by a Sith Lord. It's not too big of a leap.
The Chancellor trusts you.
And?
Anakin, I am on your side. I don't want to put you in this situation.
What situation?
The council wants you to report on all the Chancellor's dealings. They want to know what he's up to.
It's strange that
A spy on the Chancellor.
they only decided to spy on the Chancellor now, given everything that he did in the Clone Wars.
Why didn't the council?
I highly recommend watching the Clone Wars, all 6, 7 seasons of them.
The Chancellor is not
It
a
was
bad
an amazing
man,
show.
Obi-Wan. He befriended me. He's watched out for me ever since I arrived here.
That's why you must help us. Anakin.
Gotta watch that show again.
It's not to its leader.
As soon as
In office long after
Rise of Skywalker becomes available on
Demanded that he stay longer.
use your feelings, Anakin. Something is out of place.
You're asking me to do something.
as soon as Rise of Skywalker is available on digital, I want to just binge all the Star Wars stuff, starting with
That's what's out of place here.
Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars in its entirety,
Councillor's asking you.
Revenge of the Sith, Solo, Rebels, Rogue One,
Anakin did not take
Original Trilogy, Mandalorian, Resistance, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. I want to do that binge. I'm not sure if I'll do a commentary for all those, but
Is he not the chosen one?
I think that's
Destroy the Sith
something
Emperor's
worthwhile
force.
doing
So the prophecy said.
for fans of the series.
That misread could have been.
Because you see, in that wonderful, wonderful book by Claudia Gray, Yoda doesn't believe Qui-Gon when he says that Anakin is the supposed chosen one of the prophecy. He doesn't even believe in the prophecy at all. He constantly butted heads with Qui-Gon on that matter. Look, there's a Wookiee. I think that's Captain. I think that's Chief Tarful. I think.
Sometimes I wonder what's happening to the Jedi Order. I think this war is destroying the principles of the Republic.
Have you ever considered that we may be on the wrong side?
A little bit.
What do you mean?
Because there was an episode of the Clone Wars where Padme and Ahsoka went to Sereno, which is the seat of the Separatist Senate-ish, and they kind of get to see the other side of the world.
You're closer to the Chancellor than anyone. Please ask him to stop the fighting and let diplomacy he resume?
Don't ask me to do that. Make a motion in the Senate where that kind of a request belongs.
What is it?
Nothing.
Don't do this.
Sandy, Sandy.
Don't shut me out. Let me help you. Hold me. Like you did by the lake on the boat.
Right, so bathroom break. I'm just kidding.
No politics, no plotting, no war.
It's life, Padme. Get used to it. Is that the... yeah. It's the opera scene now. If you look very closely... Hold on. That guy over there on the left, in the blue makeup, that's George Lucas. Yeah, that's him. It's the creator himself. Look at the Imperial Guards, or soon-to-be Imperial Guards.
Yes, Senator, come closer. I have good news.
This is easily one of the best scenes in this movie, and that's actually saying a lot.
Discover the location of General Grievous. He's hiding in the Utapau system.
And Anakin doesn't think it's weird that Palpatine all of a sudden knows where General Grievous is.
About the collective wisdom of the Council, they didn't select you for this assignment. Not the best choice.
And there he goes. He's putting more of the ideas in Anakin's head, you know, poisoning his mind a little bit further.
Leave us.
Leave us. I must talk to my future apprentice. I wonder what these giant balls are. Because there's... in one of the comics, there's a bit of an opera house scene on Mon Calamari. I think it's something similar to this.
They have me too. Listen,
I'm not sure I understand.
you must sense what I have come to suspect. The Jedi Council want control of the Republic. Their
Putting
plan
more
is
of the
to
seed of doubt in his head.
I don't.
Is that thing behind them one of their the guards? Because he clearly said, leave us.
You know, don't you?
I know they don't trust you.
Or the Senate. Or the
It
Republic.
is him.
Or democracy, for that matter.
I have to admit, my trust in them has been shaken.
Cindy, there is such a thing as personal space, you know. Thank you.
They asked you to do something that made you feel dishonest, didn't they?
And of course he's gonna tell him, because, you know, friendship over strategy. That sort of thing.
I don't know what to say.
I'm gonna bring the
Remember back
table closer.
all who gain power are afraid to lose it. Even
When was that in his early training exactly?
Use their power for good.
good point of view and
From a certain
Sith
point of view.
Jedi are similar in almost every way.
That is true. I mean, he's not lying.
In our quest for greater power,
The Sith rely on their passion for the strength. They think inwards, only about themselves.
and the Jedi don't.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Selfless. They only care about others.
Not always. Not always. Especially if you've read some of the novels and seen some of the TV shows.
So here's
The
the
tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. I love the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
No.
I never actually read the Darth Plagueis novel,
story
but
tell you.
because it's not canon, so I didn't read it. But from everything I've heard, it's one of the best Star Wars novels ever.
The dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise.
And in that book, it's revealed that Palpatine was actually Darth Plagueis' apprentice
He had such
for
a
knowledge of the dark side.
he could even keep the ones he cared about.
From dying.
He could actually save people from death.
Anakin is such a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
What happened to him? He became so powerful. Everything he was afraid of was
Losing it.
losing his power. Eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep.
Ironic.
Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself.
Is it possible to learn this power? Not from a Jedi. Now, hold on, there was something on. Oh yeah. Now, if you really go into this scene, it kind of is explained in retrospect. Well, not explained. It's heavily implied that Palpatine actually created Anakin inside Shmi Skywalker's womb. It's never confirmed, but it's definitely something that Vader suspects happened. So it's interesting. It's an interesting thought. And no one thinks it's weird that suddenly Palpatine knows where General Grievous is.
Will end this war. Quickly and decisively, we should proceed.
The Chancellor has requested that I lead the campaign.
The Council will make up its own mind who is to go, not the Chancellor.
Master is needed with no experience.
I concur. Master Kenobi should go.
I agree.
How exactly do they know when is the good time to
Very well, Councilor.
find this nice hologram table and just sit down and have a council meeting? That's Chewie. Chewbacca.
Then now the time is, Commander.
Interesting though. Chewie was 190 years old when Solo met him. And that's a few years before A New Hope. So exactly how old is Chewie? He's like 250 in The Rise of Skywalker. By the way, I have one of those tank things in Lego form. It's incredible. One of my favorite Lego stuff. I love the Tarzan Wookiees. Kapoops! By the way, I just remembered. Chewie actually shows up in the Clone Wars animated show. In one episode, I think it was the season 2 or season 3 finale. It was nice to see him though, but was it necessary? Questionable.
I haven't been very appreciative of your training. I've been arrogant.
Sandy.
I've just been so frustrated with the Council.
You are
Strong and wise, Anakin. I'm very proud.
I have trained you since you were a small boy. I have taught you everything I know. And you have become a far greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be. But be patient, Anakin. It will not be long before the Council makes you a Jedi Master.
I guess we'll never know. No one will ever know!
Obi-Wan. May the Force be
Why
with
didn't you say Master?
Goodbye, old friend.
May the
And
Force
the
be
Force
with
be
you.
with you.
And again, I guess he's not technically his master anymore. Especially since Anakin already had an apprentice of his own. In the form of Ahsoka Tano. The emotional reunion between these two guys when Ahsoka fought Vader is one of the greatest moments in Star Wars history. I mean, it's to this day it's easily my favorite duel, lightsaber duel in all Star Wars. Period. Zoom!
Save your energy.
More nightmare vision things.
Don't give up hope.
I think it's the first nightmare sequence in Star Wars. I guess the one from The Empire Strikes Back doesn't count. But, you know, people were really upset. Oh, look at that, he's playing a Game Boy. People were really upset at the Force visions and flashbacks in the new Star Wars movies. I say, just because they never happened in any of the original saga films, it doesn't mean they can't happen in Star Wars movies. So I don't have a problem with that.
I feel lost.
Lost? What do you mean?
Obi-Wan and the Council don't trust me.
They trust you with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Something's happening. I'm not the Jedi I should be. I want more,
You are impatient.
and I know I shouldn't.
I think that was mostly
You expect too much.
the downfall of Anakin. Oh, not entirely, but most of it
I found a way to
was
save you
his impatience, and you know,
from my nightmares.
That was bothering you?
he's
I won't lose you, Pat.
he wants to save Padme, but he doesn't know how, and he found a guy
No, I promise
who
you.
can save her, but I mean, like a lot of things about the prequels, I guess that storyline could have been handled better, but I mean, I get it. Some people might have problems with the way that whole storyline was handled, but to me, I think it's simple enough. Maybe I'm simple. I don't know. I love that this whole thing kind of looks like a skeleton of some ancient monster thing, and they just built that platform around it. I loved it, unless it was all entirely sculpted. By the way, these guys, the Utapauans, Darth Plagueis was an Utapauan. He was one of these guys. Just
And to use
so that you guys know.
as a base as I search nearby systems for General Grievous.
Unless they decide to change it for new canon or something. I think it's confirmed that he's Utapauan. I love the makeup work on his face. Unless it's all CGI.
Now is the time.
In which case, it's still fine, I guess. Wait! Now, I don't remember the name of,
Fighter back to the ship. Tell Cody I've made contact.
I don't remember what the name of that... this lizard thing that they gave him. I don't even know how to search for it. I think its name is Boga or something, but I don't remember the name of the species. But that cry was eventually reused for a lot of things, but most notably it was used as the voice of Palkia in Pokemon. Just saying.
Armies of the Republic trapped us here. I am sending you to the Mustafar system.
Mustafa system in the Outer Rim.
It is a volcanic planet. You will be safe there.
Safe!
Palpatine managed to escape your good general. Without Count I have doubts about your ability to keep us safe. We thank for the Viceroy. You have not done yourself in my grip. Your ship is waiting.
If only Obi-Wan was a few minutes earlier. such a memeable moment. General Kenobi! You are a boy. Kill him. By the way, that hello there moment, that was actually the first thing we ever heard Obi-Wan say in the Star Wars franchise. Was him as Ben Kenobi saying hello there to R2. My Sith!
Your move?
Now, throughout the entire movie, you've seen him cough, you've seen him choke. How can this guy be a worthy match to Obi-Wan? Boom! 4 arms and a lightsaber in each hand. And Obi-Wan's not really surprised by it because he's already battled him multiple times in the Clone Wars. But once again, in the non-canon, 2D animated Clone Wars, you see that he does have 4 arms, but it's a huge surprise when he pulls out the extra arms. Let's see, blah 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 blah. A Varacto. That's what the name of the. That's what Boga's name is. It's a Varacto. Oops. And Obi-Wan is a good rider on one of these because he already participated in races on these things in the book that I keep mentioning, Master and Apprentice. Shoot, 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 shoot. Wow, that's a huge fleet. Like a spider droid. I think they've upgraded the spider droid. Close up on his eye. So some terrifying looking eyes. Well, say what you like about Grievous, he doesn't have the Force. I don't think he even believes in the Force, to be honest. I also have this thing in Lego form as a Lego set. It's, once again, it's a beautiful looking Lego set, but it's a nightmare to get into position. Especially in the position that I had it in. I kind of put Obi-Wan and Grievous on it while they're fighting. It was a nightmare trying to set it up, but it's worth it because it looks amazing on my shelf that I never take it off from, and I hardly use it. Whatever. Oops. So lightsabers are dropping from the sky now? Oh, look, there's Aayla Secura.
Deliver this report to the Chancellor. His reaction will give us a clue to his intentions.
Yes, Master. So he doesn't like it, but he's still spying on him.
I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi.
You're only sensing it now?
Force surrounding the Chancellor.
If he does not give up his emergency powers after the destruction of Grievous, then he should be removed from office.
Do the Jedi have the power to do that?
Control the Senate in order to secure a peaceful transition.
Great dark place, this life but precarious. Great care we must take.
Monitoring this.
Chancellor, we've just received a report from Master Kenobi. He has engaged General Grievous.
Master Kenobi is up to the challenge.
I should be there with him.
It's upsetting to me to see the Council doesn't seem to fully appreciate your talents. Don't you wonder why they won't make you a Jedi Master?
I wish I knew.
It's not your place to question counsel, young
More and
one.
more I get the feeling that I'm being excluded from the Council.
You are on the council! A little gratitude, you know.
I know there are things about the Force that they're not telling me.
They don't trust you.
Anakin.
They see your future. They know your power will be too strong to control. You must break through the fog of lies the Jedi created for them. Let me help you to know the subtleties of the Force.
How do you know the ways of the Force?
I'm really interested in that mural behind them.
Told me everything about the Force. Even the
I want to know some
dark side.
more things about it.
You know the dark side.
Anakin, if one is to understand the great mystery, one must study all its aspects, not just the dogma
That is true.
narrow view of Jedi. If you wish to become a complete, wise leader, you must embrace a larger view of the Force. Be careful, Jedi Anakin. Only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi. Learn to know the dark side of the Force, and you will be able to save your wife from certain death.
I love this ominous theme in the background. It's been overused to death in a lot of the audiobooks for the Star Wars audiobooks, but I still love it whenever it shows up.
I know what's been troubling you. Listen to me.
Listen to me.
It will be a pawn of the
Jedi Council.
Ever since I've known you, you've been searching for a life greater than that of an ordinary Jedi. A life of significance, of conscience. Are you going to kill me?
I would certainly like to.
Then do it. I can feel your anger.
Gives you
Focus.
makes you stronger.
I'm going to turn you over to the Jedi Council.
Of course, you should. But you're not sure of their intentions, are you?
I will quickly discover the truth of all this.
You have great wisdom. Know the power of the dark side. Mother, say that.
Man, that guy knows how to get into your head, doesn't he? Alright! 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 Once again, the sound effects on that wheel bike are amazing. You know, I think I really should get a Lego set of Obi-Wan on Boga and kind of put it next to my Lego set of this wheel bike. It'll kind of be a bit inconsistent because I'll have two Obi-Wans in that set, but this will complete the set, I guess. Whee! Well, at least he made it back to his ship. Buzz! Now, in the Revenge of the Sith video game, there's always this kind of background banter between these two guys. Obi-Wan keeps calling him a droid for some reason. And Grievous keeps saying, I'm not a droid! I'm not a droid! Stop calling me a droid! And in the movie, this happens! And clearly, he's not a droid. But it doesn't happen in the video game, so I guess, you know, Obi-Wan never gets to find that out. Ouch! Why would you kick a body made of metal? Where's the logic in that? And again, he did kick... No, he kicked Jango Fett, but his armor wasn't pure Beskar, so I guess that makes sense. Well, who knew? I guess Obi-Wan is a sharpshooter. He isn't even looking, he's just pointing and shooting. Blah! What a horrible way to die. Damn. And then so ends almost 3 years of Obi-Wan chasing this guy.
Uncivilized.
So uncivilized. You know, when you really think about it, Obi-Wan really does have a lot of enemies. I mean, Grievous, Maul, Vader,
Just received word that Obi-Wan has destroyed Jedi.
Palpatine,
We're on our way to make sure the Chancellor...
Boba Fett, Jango Fett, Black Chrysanthemum,
I've just learned a terrible truth.
and
Chancellor Palpatine.
anyone who might be in the Obi-Wan series.
A Sith.
A Sith Lord?
Yes, the one we've been looking for. How do you know this? He knows the ways of the Force. He's been trained to use the dark side.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Our worst fears have been realized. We must move quickly if the Jedi order is to survive.
Master, the Chancellor is very powerful. You'll need my help if you're going to arrest him.
For your own good, stay out of this affair. I sense a great deal of confusion in you, young Skywalker. There's much fear.
You know, I understand that Mace has really good intentions, but he could have worded his
What you told me is
could have worded it better.
you will gain my trust.
He's only
But for now, remain here.
you know, he's only making Anakin even angrier at him.
Till we return.
And Kid Fisto, Egan Collar, and Sassy Tina are just standing by waiting for him to show up, even though they didn't hear one bit of his conversation. Now, is this the re-release of this movie? Because I think in the re-release they added a few things to this particular scene. Yeah, there it is. I don't think Palpatine speaking to Anakin was in the original Revenge of the Sith. They added it later in a re-release. I think the scene is much more effective without this. Palpatine speaking to him, but I guess it works. Sorry about that. You know, shoot. The internet is on the fritz, and with only an hour left of this movie. Anyway, I'm gonna try to continue. All right, hold on. I'm gonna pause the recording now and try to fix this error. Okay, I think I fixed it this time around. Let's see. I actually went a few seconds back. But no, everything seems to be okay for now. Let's just hope the internet doesn't start fritzing again. This is a really well-designed little ship there. A few years ago there was this Lego set of this scene, basically. The Emperor's office with these four Jedi, and the lead up to the sort of the landing pad with Anakin's ship. It's a really nice Lego set. Should have gotten it.
Name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic. The Senate.
I am the Senate.
Not yet.
Okay, now you've made him mad. It's treason then. And he's got a golden hilted, red bladed lightsaber. Stab! Slash! That was Egan Collar and Sassy Teen. And slice! There goes poor little Kid Fisto. Which is a shame because I love Kid Fisto. I loved him in the Clone Wars, and I mean, he's got a very cool design, and he's a really nice character. It saddens me he gets taken out this easily. But then again, he is going up against Darth effing Sidious. Sidious. I don't know where that came from. Sandy. Now, I've had this argument for a very long time, for many years, with a lot of the people I know. A lot of people keep bringing up the fact that, oh, well, Mace Windu is clearly the most powerful Jedi ever. He's stronger than Yoda. I'm like, no! Where are you getting that idea from? Yoda's clearly the most powerful Jedi ever, at least in the prequel era. But then they always bring me back to this annoying scene, and smash! There goes the window. They keep saying, well, Mace Windu defeated Sidious, and Yoda clearly couldn't. And I'm like, no! Idiots! Sidious let Mace Windu beat him because he wanted Anakin to kill him. He was holding back. You can clearly see that he's holding his punches. Later, and when he has that fight with Yoda, he ain't pulling no punches. He's going all at it. That's why Mace Windu beat him. He timed that thing perfectly. That's why Mace Windu beat him. It's not because Mace Windu is the most powerful Jedi. It's a stupid argument. And I hate talking about it. No. You! Now, I've got a question. Did Mace Windu actually plan this? Now, Anakin is in a very tough situation because Palpatine basically trusted him from the start, and Mace Windu never trusted Anakin. So who is he gonna believe? Even though he can clearly see that he's got Force Lightning, he still believes that... Oh, man. Okay. It works for now. I'm too weak, Anakin. Anakin, help me. So I guess that's how the Emperor got his face. A lot of people are disappointed that this is the reason why the Emperor is sort of misshapen. I think it makes sense. I'm too weak. Don't kill me. I need him! Oh, look at the yellow eyes. Where did those came from? No! Slice! Power! Unlimited power! Whee! Blah. Ew. Destiny, Anakin. Sandy, the dark side of the Force. That makeup actually looks really good on him. If it is makeup and not CGI. Good. So many people thought that this whole heel turn was sudden. I personally didn't, but the Clone Wars really does explain that this wasn't a sudden heel turn. This has been brewing for a very long time. But like I said, first time I saw it, it made sense to me. It didn't seem sudden to me. I pledge my allegiance to you.
To your teachings.
Good. The Force is strong with you. Powerful Sith you will become. Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader. And a lot of people were upset with this moment, that they felt the name Vader wasn't really earned. Rise. A lot of people are saying that, you know, there should have been a better explanation as to why he chose the name Vader, and basically it was just Palpatine just coming up with that name on a whim. But I think the name Vader, it actually means something in ancient Sith language, which is explored a lot in Lords of the Sith. So I think that's where he came up with the name.
I agree. The Council's next move will be against the Sith.
Every single Jedi, including your friend Obi-Wan Kenobi, is now an enemy of the Republic.
I understand, Master.
If they are not all destroyed, it will be civil war without end. First, I want you to go to the Jedi Temple. We will catch them off balance. Do
What must be done, Lord Vader? Do not hesitate. Show no mercy.
strong enough for the dark side to save.
Padme.
What about the other Jedi spread across the galaxy?
Their betrayal will be dealt with.
Dealt with.
After having killed all the Jedi in the temple, go to the
Mustapha's system.
Why can't you
Viceroy, Gunray, and the rest of British leaders.
once more?
The Sith will rule the galaxy. Have peace. How's my Emperor impression so far? You like it? This is such a powerful moment to me. I mean, just look at that massive army charging into the Jedi Temple with the intent to kill. The 501st. I really hope that in Season 7 of the Clone Wars they explain why Captain Rex wasn't part of that battalion that charged into the Jedi Temple. Because he was clearly in charge of the 501st Legion. But he wasn't in the attack? Where was he? And he clearly survived Order 66 because he shows up later in Rebels as an older man. And speaking of older men, the internet is on the fritz again. I hate it. You hear that, internet? I hate you. But hold on, I don't want to pause this too much. On the bright side, at least it didn't happen in the Attack of the Clones earlier today. Happened last night, which is why I scrapped the whole thing. But alright, Commander. There's Samara Orison again. Oh yeah, I keep repeating this. He's not even wearing a suit. None of these guys are. They're all CGI. Is that still mind-blowing? Because it is to me. In most of the scenes. Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute Order 66. Yes, my lord. Now, for those of you who are wondering why all of the clones suddenly turn on the Jedi, there's a chip inside their brains. It's been explored in the Clone Wars. Once again, there is a chip in their brain that was planted there when they were originally cloned. And once he said execute Order 66, it kind of switched their brains into kill all Jedi mode, which is something that I actually really appreciated that they touched on in the Clone Wars TV show. Again, this is one of the most powerful moments in the... I cried when I first saw this part in the movie. Boom! That's Ki-Adi-Mundi. And execute Order 66. They all turn on him. The score is amazing. And the score mixed with this imagery just makes it all the more powerful and effective. I love this sequence so much, and yet it's the sequence that all the Jedi die, like Aayla Secura, as you see here. Oh man! Hold on. I apologize. I didn't want to do this, but okay. Think I fixed it this time around. At least I really hope so, because I'm really getting tired of pausing every once in a while. So, as Sandy finds her place again, and there goes Aayla Secura. It really makes me mad because it's such a powerful moment in the movie, and it's being undermined by all the stupid buffering of the internet. That's Kate Moidia. Execute Order 66. At least I think it's Kate Moidia. And that's Plo Koon getting shot out of the sky. Again, so many great Jedi get taken out in just a bunch of seconds. That's Stas Ali, and I believe the planet is Seleucamine. Yeah, I know some things. Boom! Interestingly, we didn't see a body. Okay. Oh, so we're back in Kashyyyk now. The internet is still playing hard to get with me. Hold on. Guess we're just gonna have to keep doing it like this. But I apologize. I am really sorry. I know it kind of feels a bit unprofessional of me, but again, please try to understand where I'm coming from. Where I live, I'd only get the best internet connection, and my computer has been working practically non-stop for hours. I used it a little bit in the morning, and then obviously I went to the dentist. Then I watched the movie, which kind of took its toll on the computer, and especially the internet. This computer is very old, especially by a laptop standards. I've had it for almost 4 years now, maybe even 5. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, this laptop is old, and on top of that, the internet is not the best. On top of that, this laptop has worked for a very long stretch of time. I'm gonna turn it off as soon as I'm done with this movie commentary. I'm gonna let it rest, and then maybe, hopefully, I'll have enough time to do the New Hope commentary if I can schedule it properly. But again, please bear with me. I'm sorry. I know you guys wanted to see this. I know that if you guys clicked on this commentary, you expected a full movie commentary on Revenge of the Sith from start to finish with no interruptions. Again, I apologize. I understand the lack of professionalism in the situation, but please, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Please don't hate me. It's not me. It's the laptop. Well, which I guess it kind of means that it is me, but it is what it is. And I'm sorry again, but please, let's just try to watch the final hour of this movie, and hopefully the internet has heard my prayers for help and is going to work properly for the next hour or so. Yeesh, I kind of felt like I needed to get that off my chest. Speaking of getting things off one's chest, looks like Yoda's going through some stuff right now.
Let's get him.
And there goes your head. A lot of people are getting decapitated in this movie. It used to be the standard, losing an arm. Now it's basically just losing your head. It was a trend that kind of started with Jango Fett in the last movie. Moved on to Dooku and these guys, and even Pre Vizsla in the Clone Wars animated show. What are we going to do? A lot of people are making fun of this poor kid. Oof. So, I wonder what happened, because I thought it was just a simple, you know, Anakin and the 501st going into the Jedi Temple to kill all the Jedi in secret. I didn't anticipate them to actually blow up the temple like that. I mean, seriously, look at this thing. What happened? Why is Bail Organa going there? I mean, seriously, what business does he have over there?
What's going on here? There's been a rebellion, sir. Don't worry, the situation is under control. I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.
Once again, all these guys are completely CGI. They're not actually standing there. Just that you should know. And this kid right here, that's George Lucas's grandson. I think his name is Luke. Luke Lucas? Again, I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's George Lucas's grandson. I guess this scene was kind of pointless, but it was necessary for Bail Organa to see that, yeah, the clones are actually shooting Jedi now. By the way, R.I.P. Boga, it fell into that CGI swamp and died from drowning. Meanwhile, back on Kashyyyk, I think it was actually daytime last time we saw Kashyyyk, and now it's nighttime, unless it's a different part of the planet. So, what exactly did happen to the Wookiees in this particular scene, not in, you know, the original trilogy? That's too tough. Chewbacca. And again, a lot of people were upset that it was actually Chewbacca and not some other random Wookiee, but I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. I mean, seriously. Alright, so did Yoda have a secret escape plan ship waiting for him? Or is it just the Wookiees' ship that they just stashed away? By the way, Yoda, Chewie looks really young in this, obviously. Must have been 180? No, 170, I think. There's the Tantive E4, the familiar ship we all know. And they've arrested the Yoda Powers. I really feel sorry for the Yoda Powers. I mean, they were hoping that this guy is gonna... Look, there's Grievous's dead body. They were kind of hoping this guy's gonna save them from the oppression of Grievous. Well, turns out he did. Only to be replaced by the oppression of the clones, and later the Empire. Also, there was an episode in the one of the missing episodes of Clone Wars where Anakin and Obi-Wan traveled to Utapau to find this gigantic Kyber crystal, which was originally supposed to be the weapon system for the Death Star. Turns out it wasn't. That's why it took so long to finish the damn thing. Master Anakin! R2! I wonder how much does R2 know of what happened at the Jedi Temple? How much did Anakin tell him? It's always been a mystery to me. By the way, this is why the politics in the prequels work. Because everyone thought that the Jedi were the good guys and they're the peacekeepers of the galaxy. And then Palpatine kind of manipulated the whole story around the Clone Wars to convince people that no, they actually decided to betray the Republic, and that's the reason why the clones turned on them and killed them, and that's the reason why in the original trilogy era the Jedi are hunted the refugees.
remain loyal to the Chancellor.
And according to Palpatine's new manufactured narrative, the Empire are the good guy.
The Chancellor has given me a very
Sandy.
separatists have gathered on the Mustafar system. I'm going to end this war.
I love the liquid Sandy. She's so very liquid.
Please,
Poor R2. He has to endure this whole thing. I wonder how much does R2 know and he's not telling 3PO? You know 3PO. 3PO is gonna believe whatever you tell him. He's a very simple droid. Helpless. The size differences between these two ships is amazing. Kind of makes you wonder how big the Star Destroyers really are compared to these tiny ships that Obi-Wan's using right now.
how the Jedi managed to survive.
Heard from no one.
I love the fact that Obi-Wan's boots are clearly dirty and dusty, even though most of Utapau was CGI. His boots actually say a lot about the terrain he was traversing.
Jedi to return to the temple.
That's a very small detail that goes overlooked.
If there are any stragglers, they will fall into the trap and be killed.
Suggest dismantling the coded signal.
Yes, Master, there is too much at stake.
I love Obi-Wan's line of thinking. There's a trap in the Jedi Temple. Let's go there and undo the trap. But to do that, we're gonna have to fall into the trap first. And again, he's going with Yoda, so what better backup is there? Sandy. There's actually an extra level in Revenge of the Sith video game where you go to Mustafar as Anakin, or rather as Vader, and you have to just... The entire level is just killing all of the Separatist leaders and their followers. Pay no attention. Pay no attention to this Sandy. She does that all the time. Not a pretty sight, but it's all natural. Look, she likes the butt scratch. There's Masamida.
The Supreme Chancellor requests your presence at a special session of Congress.
I will be there.
He'll be expecting you.
I really hope Masamida didn't see that Yoda's there. Then again, who cares? Because Yoda's gonna fight
The Chancellor will not be able to
Palpatine
control
anyway.
thousands of star systems without keeping the Senate intact.
If a special session of Congress there is, easier for us to enter the Jedi Temple it will be.
Yeah, that's true. So is Mustafar just this moon? Because there's clearly a planet next to it. So it's called the Mustafar system, not the Mustafar the planet. So is that moon the moon of Mustafar? By the way, that's where Vader built his castle in Rogue One, and you see him building that castle in the second Darth Vader's series in the comics. He specifically chose that area, also because that was where his biggest failure was, but also because there's this huge Sith legend over there, so kind of wanted to study it. And Mustafar is a big name in the old trilogy era. It's known as the place where Jedi go to die. Every Jedi that's been found by the Empire, they take him to Mustafar, and Darth Vader basically takes him out. The Inquisitors don't take him out first. these are the 501st Legion. They are the best of the best when it comes to clone troopers. And Obi-Wan and Yoda just tore through them like they were nothing. Shows you how good these two guys are. Look, there's Jar Jar, Panaka, Bail Organa, and Padme, and someone else. Hunted down! Sandy, 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 Sandy. It's funny that Panaka is clearly friends with Padme, who is friends with Bail Organa, but in the Leia Princess of Alderaan, Panaka really doesn't like Bail Organa at all. I have a feeling Yoda knows exactly who did it, but he's just not telling Obi-Wan because he wants him to find it out for himself. Which totally feels like a Yoda move. And once again, the internet is playing tricks on me. Once again, hold on. Let's see if it works better now. Stab. My life has left me scarred and deformed. That guy knows how to talk. Yep, he sliced up Poggle the Lesser. Slice! So many Nemoidians. There's Wat Tambor. Oh look, Anakin's got the yellow eyes. Palpatine really knows how to captivate people. Public will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire for a safe and secure society. That's Padme's worst nightmare coming true. And what makes it even worse is the fact that it's a person that she's admired for most of her life. I really feel sorry for Padme. She's been out of the loop for so long. Lord Sidious promised us peace! We only want... Shut up! And that takes care of the Separatists. Now we shut down the droids. In Rebels, they kind of show Obi-Wan's message in a holocron, which is kind of cool. A new hope will emerge. Also, you see that message in some of the Kanan comic books, and a lot of other material. I think you see it in Jedi Fallen Order as well. Whoops. Your pain modified.
I must know the truth, Master.
So what exactly were those cameras? Cameras never lie, Obi-Wan. You're done well. So Palpatine actually showed up there, or is he a hologram too? It's a very convenient video recording or holo recording. I love that image of the broken down temple is exactly how the temple looked in The Force Unleashed, the first one.
He is like my brother. I cannot do it.
Twisted by the dark side, young Skywalker has become. The boy who trained, gone he is, consumed.
Kind of weird that Anakin sees Obi-Wan as his father and Obi-Wan sees Anakin as his brother.
I don't know where to look.
Use your feelings, Obi-Wan.
Find him you will. from himself.
Padme. Anakin has turned to the dark side.
You're wrong. How could you even say that?
First is denial. Now watch this.
A security hologram of him
Watch this.
killing younglings.
Not a
He was about. The word younglings made Ewan McGregor laugh, so he put his hand over his mouth to kind of hide it. That's how great of an actor he is.
After the death of Count Dooku, Anakin became his new apprentice.
I think he was an apprentice long before that. Now, while the light bulbs are going on in her head, she kind of starting to piece this all together. Even though it's shocking. Right, Sandy? Sandy.
I must find him.
You're going to kill him, aren't you?
I will do what I must.
He has become a very great threat.
I love her loyalty. She still believes in Anakin. So she's not telling Obi-Wan where to find him.
Anakin is the father, isn't he? I'm so sorry.
I wonder how long did Obi-Wan know, if at all, about Anakin and Padme? So many bodies. So many CGI'd bodies. I guess Sandy's not having this anymore. She wants... Or maybe not. Maybe she wants to stay, right, Sandy? I'm not sure if Mustafar was where they made all of the materials to build the Death Star, because in the book Catalyst, which is canon, they explained that it was actually the Geonosians who built. Easy, Sandy, easy. It was the Geonosians that actually helped build the Death Star. That's why they took so long, because they kept fighting amongst themselves and fighting with their superiors. That's why it took them 19 years to finish that whole damn thing. Lots of sabotage as well. But I'm not sure if Mustafar was where they got their materials for it. It was clearly Dunium and Dolomite. That's the metals used to build the Death Star. The same materials used to building Star Destroyers. But I'm not sure if it was actually done on Mustafar. Peace to the galaxy. That's a nice imagery. Immediately. So, did he ever actually send that message and shut down all the droids? Because it looks like he was clearly distracted by this. Sandy's sniffing something at the door there. Sandy? There he is. And he recognized the ship? Or did he sense that it was Padme the whole time? There's that word again, younglings.
He cares about
Younglings?
us. He knows.
How much does he know is what I'm wondering.
Anakin, all I want is your love.
Love won't save you, Pat.
All you need is love. Ra-da-da-da-da.
You're a good person.
I'm only going to see the way I lost.
Luke will one day think as you do.
Jedi has ever dreamed of, and I'm doing it for you. To protect you.
Come away with me. Help me raise our child. Leave everything else behind while we still can.
Don't you see? We don't have to run away anymore.
Point taken.
I have brought peace to the Republic.
Not quite.
I am more powerful than the Chancellor. I can overthrow him.
That's what you think.
And together, you and I can rule the galaxy. Make things
And
the way
that was actually Vader's whole thing. He never... I mean, on the surface, it looked like he was faithful to the Emperor, but no, he was always scheming to kind of overthrow him. That's what he tried to do now. That's what he tried to do with Luke.
I don't want to hear any more about Obi-Wan. The Jedi turned against me. Don't you turn against me.
You turned against the Jedi.
I don't know you anymore. Anakin, breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow.
Because of Obi-Wan.
Because of what you've done.
So because of what you've done,
That's not the dialogue. That's what makes sense.
stop.
And then he suddenly noticed that this guy was standing there. Liar!
Stop.
You're with him. You brought
He's
him
very
here to
quickly to
take
turn on her. And suddenly he went from loving her and trying to save her to force choking her. By the way, chronologically, the first time I believe Vader force choked anyone, unless there was something in the Clone Wars that I'm missing, which I don't think there is, but maybe there is.
Thunder against me.
You have done that yourself. You will not do it, Howard!
You will not take it from me. Your anger and your lust.
I mean, I like Hayden Christensen's acting, even though it's not necessarily the best.
You have allowed this Dark Lord
To twist your mind until now. Now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Don't listen to me, Obi-Wan.
You see through the lies of the Jedi. You do not fear the dark side as you do. I love the dialogue exchange in this scene. I'm sorry.
I have brought peace, freedom,
Justice and security to my new empire. Your new empire?
Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my
Allegiance is to the Republic. To democracy!
If you're not with me,
Then you are my enemy.
then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Kind of a stupid line if you really think about it all the way through. You will try. Ah! The legendary duel has begun. Da, 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 da. I wonder if someone actually edited this entire duel as one long thing, without the intercuts to Yoda and Palpatine interfering. I understand why in the movie it makes sense, but I kind of like to see that whole duel start to finish with no interruptions. I wonder if it'll look any better. And another duel maybe with these two guys, even though it's not quite as long as the other one. That's not what she said.
Your arrogance blind you, Master Yoda.
He's got a point.
You will experience the full power of
Sandy, be careful. Boom! I mean, in the previous movie, he took another Force Lightning from Dooku, and he was alright. So are we supposed to believe that that little zap from Sidious was enough to bring him down? I love the swordsmanship. I mean, the choreography in this scene is amazing. I know people hate most of this scene, but I love it. I love every part of this duel. Oh look, those dead bodies are still there. So, did Yoda actually kill these two guys? Because they're not moving. What do you want? What do you want? I think it's the same score as the duel in Return of the Jedi, Luke versus Vader. Not if anything to say about it, I have. Clearly, the dark side users of the Force have more Force powers, but that's why. That's why the Jedi are so powerful, because they're actually strong enough to resist the temptation of power. Powerful, yes. Eventually. Yoda still has the best lines. I mean, him and Obi-Wan, you can kind of make an argument. I think it's Obi-Wan, Palpatine, and Yoda who have the best dialogue in these prequels. By far. As far as which one is the best, that's actually a very interesting question to think about. So now they stopped using their sabers, now they're just kicking each other. Can't remember the name of this track from the score, but I love it. It's so epic and grandiose, and it really just sets the scene so well. This whole sequence, not just one scene. Look at Yoda bounce around in there. And look, Darth Sidious is clearly struggling in his fight against Yoda. He wasn't struggling against Dooku. He was kind of on top of things right up until Anakin showed up, and then he started, oh no, look, I'm weak. That's why I still think Yoda's a much better Jedi and much better of a swordsman than Mace Windu. I think you really need to notice these smaller details in these duels to understand my side of the argument. The correct side of the argument, by the way. And the internet hates me again. But not to worry, there's only less than 30 minutes left until the end of the movie. Let's please just, Sandy, stay where you are. Let's just hope we can get through this quickly enough. Let's go. Oh, fun. There's a little bit of Duel of the Fates, which is kind of out of place because the other score was so much better, but whatever. Well, not better, I mean, it fit the scene better, that's what I'm trying to say. But I mean, it's always nice to hear Duel of the Fates anywhere. So I threw the Senate at him. The whole Senate! Guess where that's from? Oh yeah! I'll show you! And a spin. Take this! Whee! I guess Yoda kind of lost his lightsaber in the... Oh no, he still got it. But there he goes. He lost his saber, that's why he doesn't have a lightsaber in the original trilogy. Oh wow. That's quite a barrage of Force lightning. Look, Sidious is clearly afraid. He knows he can't beat this guy on his own. And I mean, Yoda just decides to quit. It's not because, you know, it's not because Sidious is the better swordsman. It's just, you know, Yoda realized that. Actually, why did Yoda decide to turn tail and leave? No. I haven't actually thought about that. Whatever. It makes sense in the scene, I guess. I guess it made much more sense in his head. This is a very dangerous place to have a duel. Why are you fighting on top of that thing? But I guess it kind of it feeds into the intensity of this scene that they don't care what is happening around them. They're just fighting, you know? Let's fight. And it looks like, oh, hold on. Once again, I seriously apologize. I'm gonna try to fix it one last time, and then we'll see. Okay, hopefully this is the last break we're gonna have to take. Once again, guys, I seriously apologize. Please try to understand, it's not me, it's the internet. I'm so sorry about this, but, well, I guess either I need to upgrade my internet connection or I just need to upgrade my laptop. We'll see. Probably by the time this commentary video gets unblocked by Disney, and by the time you'll probably see it, I will most likely have a new laptop, but we'll see. Well, we shall see. I guess this is part of the problem why why I was so hesitant to make another one of these commentaries in the first place, and why it took me so long, because I was afraid that something like this might happen. I guess that fear was well placed. Now, exactly where was Mos Amida during the original trilogy? He does show up a lot in Lords of the Sith, and in the Aftermath trilogy, but I guess Sidious didn't, or rather the Emperor didn't think he was needed in Return of the Jedi. That's why we didn't see him in Return of the Jedi. But actually, when you really stop and think about it, I'm just pausing for a second to finish my sentence, and then I'm gonna continue. Hopefully, the internet will be on my side again. But if you really think about it, there's so many alien species in the original trilogy that couldn't. There are so many alien species in the prequels that clearly couldn't be done in the original trilogy, as far as prosthetics and makeup and stuff. That's why the prequel trilogy introduced so many other species we've never even seen before, because effects-wise you can do them now. The Twi'leks were relatively very difficult to pull off, as was Puppet Yoda. So many other things in the prequels was very hard to pull off if it would have been practical, which is why they showed up in the prequels and not the original trilogy. But now in the new Star Wars movies, they can be a mix of practical and CGI effects, which I think is one of the more beautiful things about the new Star Wars. Let's go on. That's why we see a lot of Twi'leks on the Mandalorian. We see a lot of effects-heavy aliens in the Mandalorian and in Rogue One, and a lot of new Star Wars that, if it was the 1970s, 1980s, it just wouldn't be possible. or it would be possible, but it would have been extremely hard and very expensive, and probably wouldn't look as good as it does now. So at least maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong, but maybe I am. I don't know. Yoda's clearly tired. But again, I mean, he was dominating most of that fight. So why did he suddenly decide to split? I guess Yoda just, gets tired every once in a while. So if he's going into battle, he can only do his battling skills for, for a short amount of time. Now, as stupid as that is, it's kind of awesome at the same time. That they clearly don't care what's happening around them. All they care about is just finishing that battle. Their duel. Hold on. Why are you testing me so much? Seriously, let's just... It's... just a little over 20 minutes, come on. Again, I feel like I seriously have to apologize for this again. I did not plan for this to happen this way. I wanted to watch the entire movie start to finish, but yeah, it is frustrating. It is frustrating. Or as Obi-Wan is about to say, I have failed you. But I mean, I am doing my best here under the circumstances. That's why I was hesitant to do these movie commentaries again. Hopefully, whenever I decide to do more commentaries, because I am planning to do it, I actually find myself really enjoying these, unless things like that happen. But the next time I decide to do movie commentaries, I hope that I wouldn't have as many problems as I'm having right now. I'm sorry. I apologize. Now that I think about it, I think maybe the fact that I'm recording this while watching it is also putting some extra strain on the computer, which is only adding to the whole this. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna pause this, let the video finish its buffering, and I'll get back to it eventually. Hey, so as you can see, Sandy decided to leave, but I've decided I'm just gonna keep on watching until we finally finish this damn movie, and hopefully it wouldn't take that long. And I have made a decision. I'm not going to do A New Hope today. I was going to, and I could have done it, but this just ended up taking way too long, much longer than I anticipated. And like I said, I have work to do in the morning, so plus, editing this in a way that it kind of makes sense with all the pauses that I needed to do. But again, I'm sorry. I hope that on my next commentary, which will be A New Hope, probably after I've watched The Rise of Skywalker, I hope that none of this is going to happen. And once again, I literally feel like I'm going to cry, because I wanted this to be a fun, enjoyable experience for you guys to watch, and me to have fun with you guys. But I guess the Force had different plans as far as how this whole thing was going to go. So I'm just going to keep on watching till the end. distractions and all, and hopefully it wouldn't take too long. Sorry for everything. If you're still watching this, then thank you from the bottom of my heart, but if you've decided to drop off, that was the perfect timing. I didn't even plan that. Then you are lost! So what I was about to say, that if you decided to drop off from watching this, I don't blame you, and you probably deserve better than this. And like I said, I'm sorry. But these things are going to happen from time to time. Let's at least try to enjoy the last 20 minutes of this movie. It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! I'm not gonna pause. I'm just gonna keep watching. Don't try it. Slice. It's another very emotional scene that I'm afraid is gonna get undercut by all the damn pauses with the internet, which sucks, but whatever. Ewan McGregor's acting in this scene is amazing. And even, Hayden is not doing too bad, especially compared to the rest of the movie. I hate you! You're my brother, Anakin! I loved you! Jedi are allowed to live, once again. By the way, this is not too bad because blood is very flammable. That's why he's on fire. Mostly, well. Why? Ah! Now you see why this movie is PG-13, right? I remember once at my workplace in the cafeteria, this movie was playing on, but it was on mute for obvious reasons, because, well, there were so many people there, and they wanted to talk to themselves, and having this movie in the background would probably be distracting. But I was just sitting there with a bunch of friends, and I literally just quoted the entire movie word for word. Well, not the entire movie, but select scenes, especially in this whole sequence on Mustafar. So, wait a minute, first of all, how did R2 get over there? How did he know to get there? And did 3PO bring Padme Padme into the ship on his own, even though he can only move his arms like this? Or maybe Padme just used whatever strength she had left to walk there? By force choking a pregnant woman is not recommended. It could kill the baby inside. Uh-oh. Sandy? Yeah, Sandy's got that look of, I did something wrong and I know it, but I just hope he doesn't notice. Well, at least he left his robotic arm. Didn't cut that out. Sandy, what did you do? Yeah, she probably peed in the kitchen. I'll clean it up later. I just want to finish this. I think that's a very early model of a Lambda class shuttle, because it doesn't have that long fin thing on the top, or rather wing. Sheesh. Guessing Palpatine didn't expect this to happen. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that red-colored clone troopers are medical troopers. I'm not 100% sure on that. Or maybe the red ones are... The blue ones clearly belong to the 501st Legion. The gray ones are from Wolf Squadron, I believe. And, well, all those colors mean something. But I'm just not 100% sure on what means what exactly. I apologize if I've delivered some misinformation. I'll look it up. Well, maybe I guess you can look it up for yourselves if you really want to know. Careful, there's a baby inside. By the way, where that's Polis Massa, where they are. That's an asteroid on the outer rim. Very outer rim, as a matter of fact. Look at all these clone troopers. So I think the red clone troopers, or rather ARC troopers, are specifically Coruscant security forces.
For reasons we can't explain, we are losing her. She's dying. We don't know why. She has lost the will to live.
Yeah, another thing that most people had a huge problem with,
She's carrying twins.
her losing the will to live. Again, I don't have a problem with it. It makes sense to me. But I don't understand why people have a problem with her losing the will to live. I mean, there's so much in the Star Wars universe that is mystical and just can't be explained, so losing the will to live doesn't seem too big of a stretch to me. You can really feel his pain. And look at that, they gave him some robotic legs, and they're going to give him another robotic arm. Did she have that name in mind the entire time, or how did she came up with that name on the fly? But yep, that's Luke. That's Luke Skywalker. Ooba, ooba. I guess giving birth in the Star Wars universe is a lot faster than in our universe. Leia. Again, she came up with those names on the fly. And look, I mean, that's a badass looking suit. Make no mistake about it, that's one hell of a suit. And the helmet and everything about this suit is amazing. And the piece de resistance, or rather the cherry on top. It's funny that they gave him a different helmet than the one in A New Hope, and for canon reasons, Ahsoka basically slashed his helmet open in Rebels, Season 2 of Rebels. That's why they gave him a new helmet, which was the helmet that they used, they reused in Rogue One. And it was the helmet that seemed a lot more similar to the one in A New Hope. But then he had a different helmet in Empire Strikes Back. There are so many stories surrounding just the prop of Darth Vader's helmet. It's a very fascinating subject. Lord Vader.
Lord Vader,
Can you hear me?
can you hear me?
Yes, Master. This dialogue exchange was used in the trailer, I believe. Where is Padme?
Is she safe?
And the first thing he asks is, where's Padme?
All right.
Yeah, you choked her, you remember that? Now this makes sense. He likes to manipulate Vader, so we told him that, no, you killed her. She died because of you.
I felt it.
I wonder who's in this suit. It's probably not David Prowse, who was the original Vader in the original trilogy. The Emperor is very pleased with this monster he's created. No! Another thing that a lot of people hate about these prequels, again, I love this moment. I don't have a problem with this. I don't understand why people do. It makes sense in the story. Cindy.
We must take them somewhere where the Sith will not sense their presence.
It was a good idea to separate them too.
Split up, they should be.
Yeah.
My wife and I will take the girl. We've always talked of adopting a baby girl. She will be loved with us.
And what of the boy?
To Tatooine, to his family, Senator.
So how does Yoda know about the Lars family?
Child and watch over.
Or Obi-Wan for that matter?
Until the time is right, disappear, we will. Master Kenobi, wait a moment.
Okay.
In your solitude on Tatooine,
The Fortress of Solitude.
I have for you. An old friend has lit the path to immortality. One who has returned from the netherworld of the Force. Your old master. How to commune with him, I will teach you.
Captain Achilles,
Is that Brendan Routh?
placing these droids in your care. Treat them well, clean them up. Have protocol droids mind wife.
What? Yeah, and R2's laughing at him. Oh no. That whole thing with Qui-Gon, it was a big episode in the Clone Wars where Yoda kind of traveled to meet the Wills and stuff. And there's even a moment in the book, from a certain point of view, where Obi-Wan is actually communicating with Qui-Gon from beyond the grave. Oh, look, here's Boss Ness. So I guess that's how Obi-Wan was able to manifest himself as a Force ghost in Empire. He couldn't do it yet at the end of A New Hope, but yeah, I guess it takes some time and training. That's why he did most of his time on. So it's the same design of the Republic cruisers, but painted to look like Imperial Star Destroyers. Kind of lets you know that it takes some time getting used to this new Empire. And that's very young Tarkin-ish. Tarkin shows up a lot in the Clone Wars animated series. And there's the Death Star, or at least the beginnings of it. It's also introduced in Catalyst that there are a lot of different projects that a lot of different people are working on, but the one that the Emperor has his eye on is the Death Star. Look at Alderaan. I wish we could see more of Alderaan before it blew up in any Star Wars movie. Because, I mean, just look at this place. It's beautiful. And if you've played the Old Republic MMO, which is not canon, I'm just warning you in advance, that game is not canon anymore, but there are a lot of stuff to do on Alderaan, and Alderaan is one of the most beautiful planets in the Star Wars galaxy. It's definitely a treat for the eyes, and it would make for a very interesting location for a potential Star Wars movie. And there's a lot of good stuff in the Leia novel. I guess also in the comic book, but in the comic book it was just her trying to find surviving Alderaanians from around the galaxy. Look, there's Aunt Beru. Hello, strange guy I've never met. Oh, look, a baby. Yes, I'll take care of it. Thank you. Did he actually phone ahead and let them know about this? Again, one of the many things that, you know, a lot of plot holes in these movies, but look, there's Owen Lars just, you know, minding his own business. Oh, look, there's a baby. It was kind of nice in that Twin Sons episode on of Rebels, where you see a younger Luke in the Lars Ranch. Did it! We made it, guys! We made it! Oh, man, that was exhausting. Oh. Once again, guys, I'm so sorry about all the technical difficulties. Yeah, this is why I haven't done these commentaries in a while. Almost a year and a half. And yeah, it sucks, and I'm so sorry. I wish I could have done better with these commentaries. Oh look, starring Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Hayden Christensen. Still doesn't get top billing in his own movie. Ian McDermott. And Frank Oz. Co-starring Jimmy Smits and Peter Mayhew as Chewie, Ahmed Best, Oliver Ford Davis, Tamara Morrison, Anthony Daniels, Silas Carson and King Baker, with Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu, and Christopher Lee as Count Dooku. So yeah, like I said, guys, I wish I could have done these, this particular one better. I've had some problems with the Phantom Menace commentary. Not at all quite as problematic as this one. And I just feel like I'm just sitting here making excuses. And maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. It's just... yeah. I don't know exactly what can I say that I haven't said already, so let's just listen to this wonderful score that I love, and maybe talk about this movie. So that was the end of the prequels, for now. Again, I wish I could have done A New Hope, but I am getting really tired, and as you've noticed, the computer is also getting very tired as well. Hold on, what time is it? Let me just check, because... yeah, it's about 9. So I guess I could technically still... no, I'm not gonna take that chance, because I actually want to go to sleep a bit early today. I don't want to be tired tomorrow morning when when I go to work, because I want to sleep well tonight, go to work, and go to work hopefully not tired and very well rested. Come back home tomorrow. Also, very quickly do what I need to do before going to bed. And go to bed hopefully as early as I can manage. And go to work the next day very well rested, not tired at all. Because once I actually come back home, I'm just gonna, not tomorrow, but 2 days from now. Once I get back home, 2 days from now, I'm gonna quickly take a shower, get dressed all fancy, take my fancy lightsaber, and go to the premiere of Rise of Skywalker. Hopefully, I'll enjoy the movie. Hopefully, I can get a lot of attention with this lightsaber, because I took my Infinity Gauntlet to the premiere of Endgame, and a lot of people loved it. So hopefully I can do the same for The Rise of Skywalker, but mostly I just want to be well rested and not tired as I'm going to The Rise of Skywalker in 2 days from now. So it's exciting. We live in very exciting times as far as Star Wars goes. We have oh look, the theme. We have The Mandalorian just crushing it on TV. We have a new Star Wars movie. We have a new Star Wars game in Fallen Order. It's a very good time to be a Star Wars fan. And like I said in the previous commentaries, it really breaks my heart that this very exciting time to be a Star Wars fan is being undermined by angry, rabid people on the internet who are trying to really bring down the joy from most people who actually do enjoy the new Star Wars stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. Every generation is going to have these people, and I guess much like the prequels, and in a way much like the holiday Christmas special, this is just a part of the Star Wars fandom that we're eventually going to have to learn to live with. So much like, you know, all the technical difficulties that I've had in this commentary, it's a part of life that we're eventually going to have to learn to live with, right, Sandy? I mean, look at Sandy. Sandy's been living with me for 16 years now, right, Sandy? And yeah. Wow, I think I just got a little philosophical there for a few minutes, but well, at least I said my piece, and hopefully you have enjoyed this commentary with everything that happened in this commentary, the good, the bad, and the Sandy. And I am going to do a commentary for the original trilogy, as well as The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi when I get to it, but hopefully I won't have as many problems as I did with with this one in particular. So thank you for watching. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you've dropped off a while ago, once again, I don't fault you. You have the right to do that. But I'll see you guys possibly in the Rise of Skywalker premiere. See you guys then. Hello again, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.